Hey Patrick, I just wanted to show you how I use the Kingdom Growth Engine simulator um, to land clients, and I'm happy to report to you that I've used it quite a few times since it came out in testing, and it has resulted in um, about $6,000 a month of recurring consulting work for our companies. Um, so just walking through this, it's just such a simple, great tool. I can go all the way up here and get all 30 areas to work on, but the reality is, in my experience, the lower we can make that number, the better, and still create actual value for the customer. So I always try to keep it somewhere between 6 and 8, and so I'll just set it up here as 8. And I always use the customize my own areas because I use this screen right here, the popover, as a mini discovery call with a client. Rather than me prescribing what I think the best solutions are for them, I ask it as a question. So, hey, we have 30 things that we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes. I have no earthly idea, because I just met you, which areas you feel like you could really give us some focus and we could have an impact. And so, like if we just go down through here and somebody says, well, yeah, I would really like some help on some strategy development, and my internal communications is awful. My staff doesn't know what's going on half the time, and I need to figure out how to get some recurring revenue and a referral system going on, and um, uh, my leadership skills are not the best with my staff. And we have a really big group of users who have signed up in the past. I have a bunch of email addresses, and I keep hearing about digital advertising being important, but I don't know what I'm doing, and maybe policy and procedure optimization. So I just ask questions on each one of these things, and they naturally go to the areas that they're either passionate about or experienced with, or they've recognized, gosh, I really stink at this and I could get better and improve. And so it's just, this whole process usually takes, I don't know, 10 minutes max to get somebody through this list. And so I use this as really a question and answer session, and say, okay, cool. Now that I've remembered the choices here, and then just for you and I talking, I typically use $1 million companies, 50% gross profit, 20% net profit. And the tool very quickly generates the numbers. And while we're waiting for it to generate, I love how this comes up, and we show them the numbers here, um, um, in the areas that they've decided upon. And let me just shrink the improvements here and go, gosh, what if we could only get, a 4 to 5% increase, and then generate the results. And um, my observation is, when you start talking to small business owners, they think they can make big impacts every
Yeah,
time, like
absolutely.
every time. And so I like to generate the report the first time through with the great big impacts, and go, yeah, gosh, if we could hit these numbers, wouldn't this be amazing? But the reality is, let's walk before we run, and
Mm.
get this into a more controlled improvement, where we can work together to get improvements. And so I then go to them and start saying, okay, cool, here are the improvements in the areas that you've told me are most important to your business. I didn't suggest any of them. You said that this is where you would like to focus. And look, we can get you another $200,000 in profit increases over the next 12 months. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Yeah, everybody says yes. Yeah, that would
Sure.
be great. Um, and how does that affect your business? Well, look at this. How do we go from a total profit impact up here of 211 to a 12-month increase of 422? And and that's about compounding. And we get into the conversation to whatever degree the client wants to get into about the compounding effect of these improvements, but it's usually a very easy thing to talk about. Great. So, we got your 25,000 right up here on the top, and then another 20,000, and then another 20,000. And so each one of those percentage increases are based on the previous increases that we've already achieved together.
Yeah.
And so, the compounding nature um, money is really important to understand. The reality is that in the global population, there are very few people who actually understand compounding interest because they've never had enough money to invest in
Sure.
to receive it. But
And then you
um,
have the button there, the understand the compounding effect,
sure. Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
struggle with that. So,
In four different ways to explain it, for those people who get more curious about it or start to give any kind of objection to, well, I don't understand your numbers.
yeah,
But really, in the handful of customers that I've done this with live, I haven't had anybody give me a strong objection to the
good.
compounding issue as long as I explain it. We're stacking we're stacking increase upon increase, not going back to your original top line. And so, great. So we're going to get you, 105% growth. And at the Lively Merchant or Studio 98, um, we don't work with clients for less than $2,000 a month. Um,
Sure.
the Lively Merchant charges $500 an hour, so those are some big kind of numbers. But even at a $2,000 a month consulting agreement, we're still giving them a 779% return on their investment, and $24,000 of an increase of profit by $411,000. Obviously, you would be foolish not to take it.
Sure.
And I go straight to the close. Like, we want to help you. We believe you in your numbers. These are what you've told me. These are what you've said are important for you to work on for improvement. So let's go for it. And we've closed 66% of the clients that we've used the tool for.
Wow.
And It's all about getting them on. By the way, the share results button produces a really cool report. We send that report to clients. Um, so far, all of that 66% closing has been on the call.
Hmm.
Like, great, can I just give me your credit card? I'm going to get you set up in Grand Central, and one of our business consultants will give you a call to get rolling on this. But the report itself, we do send it along, and it's wonderful. It comes to me as the consultant, it goes to the client, and it just helps to kind of put a cherry on top of the whole process. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is the most valuable tool for small business consultants out there right now. And, most people don't even know about it.
No,
So,
we're just getting started.
yep,
All right. David, thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback and that testimonial.
you're welcome.